The first and most prominent musical element we want to talk about is melody. It's the singing line that we walk away humming from songs that we hear throughout the day, throughout our lifetime. We start off with all these children's songs, Mary Had a Little Lamb, Row, Row, Row Your Boat, stuff of that nature that's always kind of ingrained in the sound that we live in, just as human beings. It's been around forever, since through ancient Greek times, probably even before, in our brethren as Homo sapiens, before history. I'm sure as soon as they found out they could make some more musical qualities, some kind of soothing sounds from their voices, they did. But there are accounts throughout all of Greek mythology, Apollo and Dionysus, songs being played, performed, sung, whether for spiritual rites of some sort or sheer enjoyment. We'll get to that as time goes by. So, by definition, from the Oxford Music Dictionary, a melody is a succession of notes varying in pitch, which are organized in a recognizable shape. So if you hear a certain succession of notes, the rise and fall of them as the order goes by, you can definitely define that is, again, Mary Had a Little Lamb, or Row, Row, Row Your Boat. The pitch meaning the highness or the lowness of the sound, the high pitch, low pitch. Melodies, often we refer to them as the tune, the hook of the song. Again, like I said before, it's the part that we walk away singing, for better or for worse. Whether we like the song or not, that's our choice. So this coherence that I refer to, what do we mean by that? What is coherent? Who decides what coherent is? For the most part, it's our human ears in the day that we're living in. Our ears, modern ears today, hear music differently, accept music in different fashions than we would have 200 years ago in the time of Mozart or Beethoven. Even before that, what Beethoven heard as music, Bach 100 years earlier would probably think was noise. It's that old adage of your parents thinking your music is noise. I grew up living, in that same category. Always happens. So coherence, as we go throughout a melody, we create this what we call the shape of the melody, how it rises and falls over time to create the contour, the context of what it's all about. So we hear rising pitches as creating some sort of tension, and this all relates strictly to how our vocal cords work. Again, as I mentioned, we think of melody. Melody is always, it's connected unconsciously. It's related to our vocal cords, whether it's actually sung through our voice or played on piano, guitar, violin, what have you. And so as we sing higher pitches, our vocal cords stretch to their maximum, and you have that higher, more tense sound to it. If you look at the piano here, they're the very shortest of wire, the higher pitches. So when we hear that music, that initially, just straight off the bat, just kind of subconsciously denotes a form of tension for us. So these rising lines always find a peak in the music that's the biggest, tensest part of the song, and then it always trails off into some sort of repose or relaxation. So as music, melodic lines move downwards, we hear those falling pitches as a more relaxed sound. And again, going just in context with our vocal cords, it's more relaxed in either our speaking voice, or even just, you can struggle to get those really low pitches, but your basic standard speaking voice is the most relaxed state there. So also in the shape of a melody, we have either a nice connected linear shape like a scale, something a little bit more jagged, something like so, just almost random pitches on the piano at that point. But the more linear things we hear as more soothing and relaxed versus the broken melody, as I just played. It's a little bit more tension, definitely more tension, and probably even leaves you sitting there hearing, what was that? So the connection of those different parts there, the rising, the falling of a melodic line, the connection of the notes, whether they're stepwise or jagged, kind of jigsaw kind of sounding, creates a tension release that creates the contour, the shape of how we hear and how we describe when we talk about a musical melody.